Hey, what's up, folks? Your friend Dean Kulaweera here. Hope you're doing fantastic. Shout out to all the job seekers out there. Whether you're watching this, maybe you're watching this on Anchor or one of the podcasting platforms, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit me up with a like and a share, and definitely share your thoughts in the comments regarding what I wanted to talk about today, and that is the fundamental about networking. Right now, look, in the current environment that we're in. Most of us are networking through video technology, right? Or on the phone, or over the phone, right? Or through social media. Now, what I wanted to talk about today is how can you do this effectively and efficiently, and how can you adapt to this new environment that we're in? First, I just wanted to say that, this current environment we're in, I know it's not ideal, right? With the pandemic, and depending on your city or location, you might be in a situation where you're in a complete lockdown. Like, for example, myself, I'm based out of Toronto, Canada, and we're currently in a state of emergency where we're in a lockdown right now. So that's me, right? That's where I'm at. So for me, in my case, and maybe some of you out there listening to this or watching this, you might be in a similar situation where you can't actually go out and meet people. In most cities, there are restrictions on how many people can gather in a crowd and stuff like that. So the traditional, quote unquote networking events aren't really taking place right now. So this is where this brings its own set of challenges, but also its own set of opportunities as well. Like, for example, I think this is an excellent environment for those of you out there who might be a little more introverted than the rest of us, right? These traditional networking events where you actually had to go to an event, meet with people, mingle in the crowd. I think those events used to kind of deter people that were more so introverts or more so not comfortable in those kind of environments. And the current environment we're in, where most of us are doing things on video or social media and stuff like that, I think it really evens the ground, or at least to a certain degree. It helps even the grounds for those of us who are more introverted, right? So this is something that's very positive, I believe, in the current environment that we're in. Excuse me. So this has encouraged so many people to take up networking. Right now, the other challenge is, well, how do you network effectively and efficiently? And there's just so many aspects to networking, right? And I spoke about this in a recent live stream that I did. I think it was yesterday that I did a live stream on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as Instagram. And I spoke a bit about networking, like the approach you need to take about networking, et cetera, et cetera. But what I wanted to talk about today specifically with you folks is the concept of visibility, right? Visibility, being visible, making yourself visible. This is a fundamental, like core, I would say, like a fundamental core, and as well as a prerequisite to networking. Like, if you really think about, why people network and what people have to do in order to get themselves to a position where they can network. It's about visibility. Like, if you're not visible to people, you can't network with people. It is a prerequisite. It is a foundation. It is a fundamental. It is a core concept. And even if you look at the traditional networking, methods, like the so-called networking events and functions that used to take place in public places, and even if you take the current way that networking is done, like maybe through Zoom calls and social media or phone calls, whatever the case is. If you look at what the the goal of the individual is, it's to make themselves visible to people that they did not know previously, that they can connect with, right? Regardless of the end goal. The end goal might be different, right? Maybe your end goal is to connect with people in your profession. Maybe you want to meet people that are project managers or software developers or construction workers or plumbers, people who are in the same line of work as you, and you just want to meet people that you can talk shop with, right? Maybe that's your end goal. Maybe your end goal is to meet with hiring teams. Maybe your end goal is to meet with recruiters. Maybe your end goal is to talk about employment opportunities in organizations, right? The end goal is different, but the fundamental is the same. Like, you're conducting this task or this function or these set of tasks and functions in order to network, so you can make yourself visible to people that did not previously know you, that were not previously aware of you. So as you're going about your networking, and this is the whole point of why I wanted to do this quick segment, is what you want to be doing is really always continuously keeping this fundamental in mind, right? You need to make yourself more visible. Without that visibility, you cannot network with people, right? Because people don't know you. People cannot network with you if they don't know you exist. And the degree to whether or not you exist to another person or another group or an organization is dependent on how visible you are. So as you're going about your networking, folks, whether you're attending, these virtual, Zoom events, or virtual video conferencing events, maybe they're, those webinars and all that stuff, you need to make yourself more visible. Now, this does not mean simply, definitely, writing comments in the chat and stuff like that. That definitely does help. But also, having that courage to turn on the camera, turn on the mic, and just interacting or participating in the conversation, right? Now, this is not as easy as it is for everyone out there, right? Like, some of you might have difficulty doing that, but I challenge you, I encourage you, folks. Take that step, right? Take that step, and take it in baby steps if you have to, right? Maybe the first step is simply you turning on your camera, but not participating in the conversation, right? Maybe do that as a baby step, right? As your first step, just have the courage to turn on the camera and make yourself seen, right? This does contribute to you being more visible, because guess what? I have my camera on right now. You know Dean to a certain degree, right? Like, yeah, I'm talking as well. But even if I wasn't, you can see me, right? You can see I'm another human being. To a certain degree, you have the ability to connect with me if I have my camera on. And look, I've spoken at like 35 plus events over the past year, and I've been invited as a speaker to talk about job search related topics, at these various events. And I think one of the major disadvantages experienced by people who keep their cameras off is that after the event, I don't really remember the people that had their cameras off, right? Even those who were chatting in the comments or had their mic on and they were speaking to me with their camera off, I had much greater difficulty remembering those people. And guess what? Again, this violates that fundamental about networking, right? Because they're not visible, so I have a difficult time remembering them or what my conversation with them was. Now, at these same Zoom calls, right? Like if I'm having a conversation with someone and they have their camera on, that gives an additional kind of edge to them at their end, because now I'm fully able to connect with them. I can see them. I'm speaking to them, and there's a much greater chance that I'm going to remember the conversation and remember this individual that I'm speaking to. Now, I'm certainly not saying this is going to be the case 100% of the time. There's going to be cases where I might not remember everyone. But definitely does help you in your networking. And again, it comes back to this fundamental. How are you making yourself more visible, right? And let's not leave it at just that, but also think about other avenues you can use. So maybe you're intimidated by the whole, video, turning your camera on, turning your mic on, and participating in conversations. And that's completely fine. But what other avenues can you use? Social media is another great example of how you can set the foundation to open up open the gates up to networking, right? Posting stuff on social media, posting stuff on LinkedIn, on maybe on your YouTube channel. Maybe you're too shy for video. So let's say Twitter. Maybe you got a Twitter account. You want to post stuff on Twitter. Do that, folks. That helps make you more visible. Again, more visibility opens up the gates to networking opportunities. And I'm speaking from experience as someone who has posted a lot of content on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. That has it's sticking to this principle of increasing my visibility, right? This increase in visibility has allowed me to open the gates to networking, right? Where I have people sending me connection requests on LinkedIn, making new connections, job seekers reaching out to me, being invited to so many virtual events over the past year. And again, it comes down to visibility, how visible I have made myself so other people are aware of me, and again, opens the gates to networking, all right? So that's my message for you today. Like, I want you to think about this. And don't just, again, if you think about this fundamental, how can I make myself more visible? This will give you more ideas for all these various avenues that you can utilize to make yourself more visible as a job seeker, or even not as a job seeker, maybe as someone who is an expert in your field or in your space, whatever your case is. So think about this, folks. I want you thinking about this. Visibility, increased visibility, making yourself more visible is the foundation, the core concept, and the foundation for increasing networking opportunities so you can better network, right? So, hey, look, I hope this information helped. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing fantastic and pushing through in your job search. Make sure you tune in and make sure you subscribe to, if you're listening to this on Anchor, make sure you subscribe. And, for more job search related podcasts and episodes. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, hit me up with a like and make sure you subscribe for more job search content. I'm here to help you folks out. If you want more information on how I can help you, if you're a job seeker, check out my website, dkglobaltalent.com. Again, dkglobaltalent.com. I have a lot of free resources there. You can also subscribe to my newsletter as well, dkglobaltalent.com. All right, hey, have a fantastic week and keep pushing through, all right? Take care.